Hello everyone. So today, finally, we're going to be doing some tech upgrades on this beast that we built several months ago. I'm very excited about this. But the first thing we're going to have to do is we are going to have to clean it. So the actual first upgrade that we've done, and I did this all off camera of course, was I got this little stand for it because I keep it on the floor in my office. And I really don't love all the dust and everything on the floor, especially hair getting all caught up in the bottom of the machine. There's actually an air intake on the bottom of the machine for the power supply. And I'm like, yeah, that needs to be elevated off of carpet. Because otherwise it will just try to breathe through the carpet and that's not going to be good. So I got this little riser for it and that's worked out really well. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, so we're going to take it apart and we're going to blow it out with some compressed air, which I don't do compressed air. I do like a blower basically, so that's going to be really loud and super fun. So yeah. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to replace this monitor because it's terrible, but it was free, and that was the criteria on which I acquired it. And we're going to swap out for a wireless keyboard that's solar powered and a mouse that's also wireless. And this one's actually got the dark field laser tracking, so I can use it on Amanda's desk, which is glass, and I'm really excited to try that because I've never tried that before. I'm really, really excited, and I don't care how much of a dork that makes me sound like. So, first, we're going to clean this out. So let's get to it. Now, I've already backed up all the data off this machine, so that nothing bad is going to happen today, I hope. It's been a while since I've opened this. I don't remember exactly how, but most of these are the same. Okay, right. That comes right out. Forgot about that. Now I remember. All right, anything that's really crusted on there, I've got a toothbrush for, so we're all set. Okay, nice and easy. It's actually not too dirty in here, which I'm really pleased about. All right, well, I'm gonna get to blowing stuff. It's not even full speed. The lights just flickered. And that's how it's done. So we're gonna put this back together. I'm not making any internal hardware changes today. I'm actually really happy with how everything has been working in here, so I'm really satisfied with that. Okay, so the next thing I've done is I've actually acquired one of these HDMI switchers because on occasion I do get to work from home. So what I end up doing is I end up using this monitor as a second monitor for my work machine, and I always have to reach behind the machine to unplug the HDMI cable and plug in the one for my work laptop. And I want to be able to just have the cable available all the time and be able to switch them when I need to, and like be able to possibly run both at the same time, or just any other weird combination of that without having to reach behind and pull the cable out. Yeah, so I got a switcher that actually this is the one that I've been using in our living room, but I bought a new one for there that has 5 inputs because we added a switch and then ran out of inputs. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna return the desktop down to the floor now. Preferably without breaking anything. So that's where our switcher is going to go. I'm going to take away the blower parts because we don't need any of those anymore. Okay, so we've got the desktop back in place and we're going to swap out the monitor next. Now I'm sure there's a correct and safe way to do this, and I'm sure this is not it. So I'm going to try to keep this like visually relevant to you. This is a terrible way to do this. Just using a little screwdriver to get things started so that I can use my fingers to do the rest. Okay. Now I'm going to pitch this all the way down, and we're going to just nice and gently take out each of these Vista screws. Okay. Monitor is now free. So I'm going to unplug it. Okay. One monitor to be retired. I actually still have the stand for this, so for now I think I'm just going to put it on the stand so it's not just hanging out in space. Well, at one point this did fit. The hell? Well, alright. This is the stand. There's no other way for this to go. Oh, I see. Okay. The screws for the stand are in it and it's blocking it going back together. That makes sense. Because I was just starting to wonder where the screws were. Found them. Never lost them. Always a learning experience on this channel because I have no clue what I'm doing. Let's try this again now. Much easier. Imagine that. Now I had originally thought about keeping this monitor, but honestly, it's just terrible. By the time I'm trying to replace it, it's time for it to go. Like, maybe I'll have a friend who needs one or something, but in all likelihood this is going to get recycled because it's very old. It's not very high resolution. It's like 1050p, which I put up videos in 1080 and no matter what I do, I'm editing at a lower resolution than what I'm actually outputting, which is just not a great way to work. Plus, like, especially Linux, really, it works fine with other resolutions, but it just gets a little wonky if the UI is designed for something exactly 1080, which, yeah, just no. Okay, so, ta-da, it's back together. So, we'll take this away now. And now, for the part where this video becomes an unboxing video. Alright, so, here's our new monitor. It's a 24-inch monitor, 1080, so that'll be nice. Significant upgrade from the previous one, and it is VESA mountable, so I'm going to put it right on here. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, not this way. This was the wrong way to do this, apparently. So, it does have a base, but we're not going to use that. Okay, here we go. Ooh, wow, I really love the bezel on this. It's nice and small, especially compared to what I had before. Okay, no obvious shipping damage, so that's a good sign. I'm sure I'll break it, but you know, then that's on me. Okay, so the first problem I see that we're going to have is that this only takes HDMI. I thought there was a DVI on the end of this. There is not. So that could get interesting. That means I'm going to have to rewire this, and that this cable is now completely useless. Alright, so let's take this stand off. There must be more to it. So I'm having some trouble getting this stand piece off, so I'm going to have to refer to the manual. Useless. Why do they print such useless information in 5 languages? FCC compliance, support. How do I take off the stupid aha? Okay, so this is saying that I should just be able to take off this screw and it should just come off. Well, I've taken off the screw and it's not coming off. Is this just going to be on here forever? That's actually really not okay. And this piece seems to want to stay on here forever. So, I'm going to let it have its way for now. And we'll revisit this at a later time. Not quite sure what purpose this screw could possibly serve other than this. So this will be hanging down forever from this. There is a screw right here that would seem to want to take this piece out this way because there's like a slider here. But I cannot, for the life of me, get it to slide. And I really don't want to break my brand new monitor. Although if I'm going to break it, maybe now's the time. Alright, so I guess the next thing I'm going to do is replace this DVI cable with an HDMI cable, since I really thought this had a DVI connection in the back, but it does not. It's been a while since I've taken this thing apart. I'm not going to replace the power cable because the one I got should still work, and it's long enough to reach the power outlet, so I'm going to let that go. Well, it's off. And it's only mildly broken. Yay! Okay, well, apparently there was a screw in that. I dislike this mount anyway. I may just end up replacing it. We will see. If I have to zip tie these to it, I will, because I just... whatever with this. This monitor mount has been nothing but trouble since day one. Okay, that's not the sound of good things happening. Zip ties are great. That's what we're going with. I'm just gonna break it. I don't care anymore. Just want it done. There we go. Yeah, it's open now. This is the level of quality video that you expect on this channel, I'm sure. Let's get this VESA mount done. Now that we got some cables dangling in space here. I love that there's a Kensington lock on this. I'm like, I can't tell you the number of times I've seen people walk out with 24-inch monitors. I guess it makes sense in like a library or something, but like, it's kind of silly to me, really. Well, that's as close as we're gonna get, but that's still a heck of a less long fall than would destroy it, I hope, so yay, it's better. These cables are just gonna be a mess, and I'm just gonna live with it. And I don't care, I knew what I was doing when I destroyed it. I get what I deserve, I understand. Okay, let's bring it up. Hey, that's pretty sexy. I like it. The problem with a small bezel in a setup like this is that there's really not a way to move this where I'm not going to get fingerprints all over it. There we go. Ta-da! That is much thinner, and I'm sure it's going to look a heck of a lot better than that piece of crap I was using. I'm going to get some zip ties, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned with my dollar store zip ties to resolve the cable management issue. Namely that I have no cable management. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up replacing this monitor mount at some point. Partly because I just destroyed it, but also because like I never really loved this thing in the first place. Like, it's not great. You get what you pay for, and I paid for something cheap. It served its purpose, but you know, honestly, I'm over it. Ta-da! Shut up, it's mounted. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the wireless mouse. Very attractive packaging. And that's what I've more or less come to expect from Logitech. They make really good stuff and I love them. Now, why is there a USB plug? Oh! I didn't realize this. Okay. So apparently this mouse is USB chargeable. Very exciting. So that's why it includes a USB cable so you can charge it, which I'm going to have to think about because I'm not used to having to charge my mouse. Normally I do like AA batteries and they last like years and I'm fine with that. Okay, so I actually already have a Logitech receiver in this machine's USB port for the wireless keyboard. So I am gonna just hope that this just works. Because it should be responsive on the unifying receiver, which is like their whole thing. I love Logitech, I always have. They make fantastic stuff. Now, of course, me being me, I have a wired keyboard and a wired mouse ready to go because the next thing we're going to do is actually on the software side. Okay, so here's the real issue and why I'm really doing this. This wireless keyboard did not work consistently with Ubuntu 1804. which is really frustrating to me because it's a keyboard, it's 2019, it should just work, and like, I type a lot, I can't have that happen. You know, it's just, that was not okay. I could not for the life of me get my Bluetooth headphones to work properly with it, and I use these for my editing, obviously, and there was always this like delay that made them completely useless for video editing, and it does not happen with the same software in macOS or in Windows. And yes, I tried playing around with Pulse Audio and all those settings and everything, and I could just not for the life of me get it to work. So I'm not gonna try. Everything on this machine is backed up. I've got a copy of Manjaro and I've got a copy of Windows 10. We're gonna try Manjaro first because I'm just opposed to paid software, which sounds kind of crazy coming from a programmer, but there it is. And we're gonna see if we can make this work. Now, I don't remember exactly which function key I need to press here. It's like escape, F2, it could be anything. I don't remember, it's been a long time since I've installed an operating system on this machine. I'm gonna guess F2, we'll see. I have no idea if the monitor's even gonna work. I can't tell if the monitor's even on. Oh, it's not on, okay, so that's good. We've got visuals, yay! Aha, so, all right, that looks promising. The wireless keyboard is, of course, turned off. I can use the wireless keyboard in this mode, so that's exciting. So, boot option, let's do this. I do need to play with the overclocking a little bit. I haven't done that yet. I'm really excited to try that, but I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. There's a lot of stuff in here that you can tweak around. It's actually really nice. I just don't need to right now. Boot override, okay, that's what we need. So we're gonna boot from USB. I think I need to do UEFI. Let's just tell it to boot from USB. Grub rescue? No. Quit. Escape. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Let's try that again. The other thing I noticed is that I did not see any dead pixels, so that's a good sign. So boot menu is F11, but I can just do it from here. Let's try UEFI. Aha! That looks more promising. Welcome to Manjaro. Time zone UTC, no, we want time zone US. New York. English US. Okay. That's completely the wrong time, but we'll fix that next. How do I actually install this? Aha! It is definitely doing something, and that looks promising. Hey, that's good. I love that the keyboard is working so far. That's a really good sign. Now, I've used Manjaro for a total of maybe 30 minutes before now, so I'm sure this is going to be interesting. 405 updates available. All right, let's launch the installer. So I'm going to completely overwrite the existing file system. And I think I'm going to give it swap with hibernation because I occasionally use that. I do not need encryption. My name is Mia. Now, unlike Ubuntu's installer, I don't see a way to do updates as part of the installation. All right, let's do it. Visually, this should be very similar to what I've been using because it uses the same desktop environment, but the back end of this operating system is going to be completely different than what I've ever used before. Again, I've only ever used Manjaro for about a half hour total prior to this. It's a totally different system. I'm used to working on Debian-based systems like Ubuntu and some Red Hat stuff for work and things like that, but I've never used anything that was based on Arch for more than a half an hour, and I'm kind of nervous about it, but I like learning new things, and I'm hoping that everything will just work. I'm not really trying to do anything too particularly crazy, so hopefully this will just work, and if not, well, then we're gonna have to go with the evil ones, namely Windows. Please don't make me do that, Linux. I really love you. Okay, I'm going to not restart it this way because I like ejecting the USB first. Shut down. Shut down. Now we're going to unplug our boot drive and we're going to turn the computer back on. I should enable fast boot at some point, but I always find that whenever I disable access to BIOS, I need to get it back. Hey, how about that? All right, keyboard's working, always a plus. Okay, turn that off, launch it, start, get out of here. Okay, so we've got our wired connection. Let's try doing the updates first. Now, normally I do this from the terminal, but I don't exactly know how to do that. Okay, so it's got 411 things to update. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm installing the updates now because I want to give it the best possible chance of everything just working out of the box. If everything just works, I'm done. I don't have to think about it anymore. And that is exactly what I want. This is a production machine. I want to be able to just do my work. Well, it's definitely seeming to make use of all the cores of this 16-thread processor, so that's good. Hey, updates are completed. Awesome. Now I know everything is customizable here, and I will certainly get to customizing things, don't worry, that's just my personality. Okay, so how do I do this mouse? I'd really like to get this mouse working. It does offer a Bluetooth option, but I'd like to save that connection for one that doesn't already have a unifying thing in it. So one of the reasons that I've chosen Arch is that they have a really fantastic community and they have really, really great documentation. So I'm now looking up the Logitech Unifying Receiver Driver for Manjaro, and I've got an article that tells me how to do it. I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see if I can do it. So how do I add an AUR? As always with Linux, you can't be afraid of your terminal, everybody. Make pkg-si. Okay, let's see if that worked. Come on, come on, come on. We got flashing light number 2. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay, so let's try one of the other options here. Okay, so this mouse is not being detected, which is a little frustrating. So I'm going to click Pair New Devices and turn it on. Whoa, hey, what? Whoa! It's 2019 and I've got a mouse to work. It's amazing. It's the future up in here in Linux. Oh my gosh. Yes, awesome. Okay, good. So, but does my keyboard work? That's the real question. Yes, it does. So I'm using both at the same time. Yes, perfect. Haha, I'm so excited. Now the real test, I gotta try it on the glass. Oh my gosh, it works on glass! That is so freaking cool. I've been dying to do that forever. Most laser mice do not work on glass. This one does. I am so happy. I'm so happy. This is such a good day for me. I don't care how much of a dork I am. This is cool. That's so fun. Whew. Okay, now we're going to go back to boring things. I'm going to attempt to install my video editing software. Alright, well, Shotcut is running, so that's a plus. Awesome. Oh, so good. Okay, now the real trick will be getting some video files on here. So here's the situation. I have all of my files on a network file server in this house, which I can certainly access and do everything with, but it's very, very slow and it's not really a great test. I need to get some sort of videos on there quickly. I think what I'm going to do is I have a second backup on another external hard drive, but the drive is formatted in exFAT. So we're going to see if I can use that drive, and we're going to load up some of the video files on there and just re-render one of those projects. It just works! Yes! Yes, everything is here, perfect. So the other good sign is that it's detecting that hardware acceleration is available in the video editor, so that will be very useful because I use that a lot now. It's new software day. I'm having a really good day. Right, alright. We're gonna not notice the visuals here. Now let's see if we're actually hardware encoding here. Now, are we doing filters? Wow, okay, so this is even one that doesn't have a filter on it, so that's actually legitimately perfect. Okay. We're gonna do a video export. Whatever, I don't care. This is just a test. And this way we can tell if we're actually doing hardware acceleration. I want to see our system monitor. Okay, so the CPU is getting hit hard. I want to see NVIDIA. There's no way to see the... So we have the system settings, and we're going to dig in and see what's going on with our graphics drivers. So here's the thing, I think we're using OpenGL drivers here because this export should not be taking this long if we're using the GPU. Wow, there's a lot of NVIDIA drivers. So we killed the video export, and we're going to go ahead and restart the machine now that I've installed the drivers necessary for NVIDIA, which hopefully everything just works. Yes, you have to fight a little bit harder to get things to work in Linux. Yes, it's always worth it. Okay, mouse still works on a reboot, so that's a plus. Hey, that looks really good. Now let's see what we've got here. We do have Shotcut running on the video card, so that's a good sign. That's better. We're definitely getting the faster export times now, so we are absolutely using our graphics card. Video engine utilization is 36%. All right, so we have hardware exports working in Shotcut on Manjaro. So that's most of my criteria for this working, actually. So the other thing we're going to have to set up is I'm going to have to add a network drive to this machine. Okay, we're going to check something here. So this should be working. Yep, that's the password. I know the password to my network share. So the issue I'm running into right now is that I have my network file server set up through my router, and I can't control the version of Samba that runs on there, and it's using an older version of Samba than what Manjaro comes with. I had the same problem on Debian, and I had to do the same kind of thing, but it's just learning how to do it in a new operating system can be kind of fun. So I'm kind of having to work out that kink. Always a fun time when you're learning a new branch of Linux. Okay, so since I updated Samba's preferences and I couldn't figure out how to restart the service properly, I'm just going to restart the whole machine because I'm lazy. So hopefully everything will just work. Alright, so let's try and see if we can connect to our Samba share. So we still cannot connect to the Samba share. I'm going to have to mess around with that a bunch, and I'm going to have to see what I can do. I might just redo the whole share. You know, there's nothing wrong with this system, it just needs to be told to do the worst security for that, which honestly by that point, shouldn't I just not be using it? The only other thing that I really do want to try to do is I really want to try to get my Bluetooth headphones connected and see if I can not have that same delay issue, because that is a little piece of hardware that I would really like to have working. So let's give it a shot. Okay, we have audio coming through. So let's go ahead and try to open Shotcut. Okay, so the audio comes out of the monitor when the Bluetooth headphones are connected, which is not correct. Let's go to YouTube and try a video. Well, I'm really not loving the stutter on this. So it seems to be going back and forth. Like, sometimes it's working perfectly, then the video will stutter, and then it won't work great, and then I'll restart it and it'll work fine. It's weird. It's very weird. So I'm beginning to wonder if this is a Pulse Audio thing or if this is a KDE thing. Either way, this is not essential. I can just plug in when I need to do very timing specific sort of stuff with these headphones, and if I'm just listening to music or whatever, I don't really care if there's an audio delay, it's not really a problem. But it is weird that Linux seems to have this problem where Windows and Mac do not, and I kind of wonder what the cause of that is. So, the good news is that it does not seem like I'm going to get to install Windows on this thing, and that's a good thing. I really didn't want to have to do that, and now I don't have to. It is working. I'm very happy with that. I've got my mouse and keyboard working, which is a heck of a lot more than I had when I was working with Kubuntu for some reason. I got the same desktop environment, so I have all the same advantages in the operating system that I'm basically used to. It's just the back-end software side of things that are just different. And different in a way that actually things are working, so I'm probably going to stick with this. I'm pretty happy with these upgrades, and yeah, you know, a few minor things to work out, like the ability to connect to my Samba share, which I recognize is not as good as it should be set up. I might just set it up on a Raspberry Pi. It'd probably work faster that way anyway. I have to think about that one a little bit, but the point is I have access to my software that I need, and I can do all the things I want, and what more can I ask for? But I think I'm going to end this video here. So today we installed a new monitor, a new mouse, a new keyboard, a new operating system. We've got hardware configured and tried out a few other things. I think this is going to work for me, but it's not completely set up, and frankly it's not a very interesting video watching me just read and click and try to do stuff. But I can use this to make my videos now, and it's a little better than it was. I'll try out Manjaro, see how it is, do an update video in a month or so, and that'll be that. So I'll be editing this video on this machine. If all goes well, it'll be up in time. Alright, thank you for stopping by. I'll be back again next week with another video that I hope you will find interesting. Until then, stay curious.